Yo, hello. Hello, hello. Wait, my chat's not signed in. What the heck? What's going on? Oh, what the hell? That's for later. What's up, guys? How's it going? Sorry for no video this week. I don't have a video this week. My grandparents actually have been here. You guys can hear me, right? Okay, good. My grandparents have been here for the last 3 weeks. And, so I haven't had a whole lot of time to, unfortunately, make any videos since they've been here. I feel like maybe I made like one video since they've been here, but otherwise we did that stream last week, and then I haven't really made any videos since they've been here. But it's been fun hanging out with them for the holiday and everything. My grandpa actually had recently an unfortunate diagnosis, so I tried to maximize my time with him while he was here. It's not anything like, I don't think it's anything like super dire, but it is, it's one of those like, everyone's getting older, so you got to maximize the time when you've got it. What's up, Cheval? How's it going? Grimer, what's going on? What CACs you looking at? All right, so if you guys haven't known, Collecticon today released all of the locations for the Collecticons for 2024, which was super cool. But obviously, I don't know. There's a part of me that's like, it's cool that they're doing 12, and then there's part of me that's like, damn, they're doing 12. Or maybe it's 11. It didn't seem like 12 locations. Let me bring it up quick. I had it up, but I must have closed it. What's going on, Nick? How's it going? Welcome. We got a lot to talk about since I haven't really been doing anything for like 3 weeks. Let's talk about it. So, the first show is going to be Dallas, Fort Worth. I think they normally go to Dallas, right? I don't think that's a new one. I think they go to Dallas typically. That's February 24th. Not going to that one. Not going to Texas probably next year. They have like 4 Texas Collecticons, I think. So I'm not going to any of them. There are quite a few around my general area, so I'll probably be going to those. Probably not going to be traveling too far to go to different locations. This time, instead of Long Beach, they're doing Los Angeles, which is obviously LA is a much, I assume it's a bigger area than Long Beach. LA would actually be pretty cool because I'm a big like cinephile, like I love movies and stuff like that. I've always wanted to go to Hollywood to check out like tour the studios and everything like that. That would be cool, but I wouldn't probably want to do like a show in Los Angeles, so probably won't do the LA show. I've never been to California though. Might be cool. What's up, Ernie? Welcome in, man. Ready for some spiciness? Oh yeah, we doing some spices later. We got Houston. So Houston is in Texas. Not going to be doing a Texas show. At some point, I do have to get to Texas, though, because I want some Texas barbecue. I think Dan posted a barbecue meal that he had was it Houston? He went to a Texas show, and it looked amazing. I definitely want some Texas barbecue at some point. Got to get out there at some point. Orlando, this is a nightmare. This is a nightmare. Collecticon Orlando is literally, is it like 2 weeks? I have to look at Card Party's schedule. It's literally back to back with Card Party, and they're both like in the exact, I think they're both in Orlando. So there are people, unfortunately, who are gonna have to choose, like, which one are you gonna go to? Are you gonna go to Orlando, or are you gonna go to Card Party? I've already bought a $500 not refundable ticket to Card Party, so I will be going to Card Party whether I like it or not, because I already bought the crazy VIP ticket, so I will be going to that, so I won't be going to Orlando Collecticon. But yeah, they're like 2 weeks away from each other, 2 or 3 weeks, I think, because Card Party is sometime in June, if I remember correctly. Then we have Kansas City, which is super weird. I would have thought between the two, Kansas City and Denver, I feel like you'd probably want to keep Denver and not Kansas City, because from what I've heard, the Kansas City show is kind of dead. Like, there isn't a whole lot of people there. Vendors don't seem to do very well there. kind of a weird spot. So, yeah. So Kansas City is going to be June, and then we're back in Texas again, Dallas, Fort Worth. Apparently, Collecticon, like the Collecticon people, like the organizers, they live in Texas, so that is why there's a lot of shows in Texas, which makes sense, you know. So we have Dallas, Fort Worth, not going to that one. New Jersey, this one's interesting. I could go as a spectator to New Jersey, because New Jersey, I wouldn't want to vend in New Jersey, I don't think, but I could fly in for like the weekend and hang out in New Jersey, because I am pretty close. It'd be a pretty short flight, but I don't know, that costs money, so we'll have to see about that one. With all the other shows that I'm doing, I don't really think that's going to be, you know, something that I do, but we'll see. We got Charlotte. I'm obviously doing that one. I'm only a 2-hour drive away from Charlotte, so we'll be doing that one again. That's August 3rd and 4th this year. That's going to be cool. I'm going to vend. I'm probably try and get 2 tables this time around. Try and do some raw binders and a bunch of slabs. Try and do them both. That would be nice. Richmond, Virginia. So this is only a 2.5-hour drive for me as well. So Richmond is like 2.5 hours north. Charlotte is like 2.5 hours west. So I might as well do Richmond as well since I can drive to it. So we'll probably try and do both shows that are in August. They're both in August, like 3 weeks apart. Man, that would be crazy. But we might try and do both since they're within driving distance. Atlanta's another one that's close. I mean, I think the flight is maybe an hour and a half, something like that. It's like it's a real short ass flight. Again, maybe one that I would fly in to like hang out at, but not one that I would probably vend at. Chicago, I'm definitely going to. I got friends in Chicago. I used to live in Chicago. Definitely going to Chicago in October. That'll be a fun one. Another big city that they added with like LA. That's October 12th and 13th. And then Houston I won't be doing. So, yeah. So I think tentatively I would probably do Chicago and try and get 1 table at Chicago maybe. And then I'd probably do 2 tables in Richmond and Charlotte and see if I could swing both of those shows in the same month. That would be absolutely crazy. But Charlotte was really fun this year, and Richmond is within driving distance, 2.5 hours, which really isn't that bad at all. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see how it goes. But those are the 3 that I'm like tentatively thinking about doing some stuff at. And then obviously next year I'm going to Card Party. I got a lot of traveling I'm doing next year, because I'm going back to Japan. I finally booked the tickets to go back to Japan. We're going, my brother's coming with me this time. We're going in the middle of March. So it's going to be March 15th through the 25th, I think. Going to go show him Tokyo and Kyoto. He's never been there before, so we're going to go check all that stuff out. He's got some things that he wants to do that I've never done before, and some things that I can show him, and it's just going to be a fun time. Probably not going to be a whole lot of card shopping, unfortunately, because he already told me, he said, we are not going there to shop for cards. And I was like, I can't promise you, but what I think I'm going to tell him is like, I won't take us out of the way to go card shopping, but if we walk past a shop that has cards, I'm going to have to go in it. So I think that's where we're probably going to settle. If we walk past the place that has cards, I'm gonna have to go inside, but I'm not gonna, drag us card shopping. I think that's the middle ground that we've come to. At least I've come to, and he's gonna have to deal with. Japan is great. It'll be my 3rd time going. It's been great every time, so really excited to go back. We booked the tickets and everything for that. I've been looking at Airbnbs, all that fun stuff. So, yeah. I definitely want to go back, or to go to the new location of Card Secret. I met Andy, the owner of Card Secret, at Charlotte Collecticon, because he was there to hang out with Rusty, and then he went to the show, and we talked at my booth for a while. So I do want to go to Card Secret while I'm there, because I got to see the old location, which was a pretty small, like, rinky-dinky shop. It was cool, but it was very small, had a small footprint. And now the location looks really big. It looks like they have a lot more space, a lot more cards, a much bigger footprint for their store. So I would love to go in there and see kind of the upgrade that they've done to the shop. That would be cool. What else? Yeah. Tonight, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I wanted to talk about before we jump into this. Tonight, because I cannot think of any content on my own because I lack creativity when it comes to YouTube. I am going to be actually. I think I joked about this like a month ago or something that I was going to do a stream because I probably would never get on Slabbed podcast. I would do a stream where I went through the spicy comments for the previous episode. Well, that kind of shot me in the foot because then I was on Slabbed podcast. So then it's kind of awkward now to do this, but we're going to go back and we're going to take a look at some spicy comments from Slabbed podcast, and I'm going to give my takes on some of the spicy comments from the last episode. It actually helped a little bit that they didn't cover the spicy comments from the previous. They covered the winner, but they didn't do like a full coverage of every topic like we did when I guest hosted. So there's a lot of spicy comments that weren't talked about, so we can go through and talk about them, call them out. What's up, Mr. Kite? How's it going? Welcome. 7-hour drive to New Jersey. Oh, 7 hours. Ugh. I miss being in a walkable city in Asia. I loved Korea. I would love to go to South Korea. I mean, obviously I can't go to North Korea. Not that I would want to, but I would love to go to South Korea. I love Korean food, man. Korean food might be my favorite cuisine, honestly. I took my grandparents. They'd never had Korean food before. We have a really good Korean restaurant here, and I took them and we had a bunch of Korean food, and my grandpa, on the way back to the car, he was walking out, he just looked at me and was like, I love Korean food. I was like, so do I. That's awesome. I was really happy that they had a good time. But yeah, we had a bunch of interesting stuff they've never had before. Korean food's the best. If you guys haven't tried Korean food, you have to. It's so good. It's so good. But yeah, we did that while they were here. I'm trying to think, man. Yeah, the food's great. I've been using, I think I'm gonna make a video on this, but I have been using recently the eBay Vault, and that's been a really interesting experience. Definitely kind of a roller coaster, kind of an up and down experience with the eBay Vault right now. My main frustration with the Vault is the title system is not great, but it seems once you get in there and once you start customizing stuff, they seem pretty okay with customizations to the title. It just takes a little while for them to review them. But I've been selling things through the Vault, and it's great not having the percentage, the percentage that they take. I think at some point next year they're going to be doing a buyer's premium. So I don't know if that will come out of the sale price or if that will just be paid, like a little bit extra paid on the buyer side. But so far it's pretty awesome. I sent some more stuff there recently. I got them all like retitled. Hopefully they get approved here, and then I'll sell them in a bit. Looking forward to that. I sold a couple Black Label Gengars recently. Those have been selling well for me. It's kind of crazy that you could take a $3 card, get a Black Label, and sell it for over $300. I've sold 2 Black Label Gengars, the character rare from Dark Phantasma, literally like a $3-4 card that got a Black Label, and both of them have sold for at least $300. Absolutely insane. Just stupid. I want to try end-to-end. How long would it take to sell something if you sent it in? If I sent it in today, I would expect like a week. Because what happens is when you ship it to authentication. Because I think right now you can only send cards worth $250 and above, I think. So you ship it to authentication, they authenticate the cards, and then they go to the vault. And once they're in the vault, then you can request title changes. That usually takes like 24 hours, and then you can list it. So in that process, I would say I would say about a week is what I would expect if you're sending like priority mail. I usually send mine priority mail, and I feel like I have access to my cards within like a week. So it's not so horrible. But yeah, it's good stuff. It's been great on some cards. That the Black Label thing was interesting because their Black Label wasn't in the thing. They just called it a BGS Pristine 10. So I had to kind of jankify it. There's a variety parallel option for you to add like a custom variety or parallel, and I put Black Label in that variety section, and they approved it for the title. So there's some stuff that doesn't get put in the title. Like if it's a Japanese card, the language Japanese does not get put in the title, which is crazy. Like, that's crazy. So I have some 25th anniversary Charizards in there right now, and it's like, I want to put Japanese in the title because it's a Japanese 25th anniversary, and I think the cards have the same card number in English and Japanese. So it's like, you need to be able to differentiate between the two. So I'm hoping that they approve the title changes I made today. But yeah, some of that stuff, it's like they're clearly obviously missing like the selling point of the card, like it being a Black Label, for instance. So hopefully that stuff goes well. Hopefully everything is fine with that. I also, God, I have so much stuff to talk about before we get spicy. We're gonna get spicy, I promise. I just have a couple more things. So I recently pulled the trigger on a raw card scanner. So I have a bunch of raw cards, a lot of, well, I think they're actually up there. I have some 5-row boxes or whatever, just full of vintage like raw cards. And so I pulled the trigger. It was like $600. I bought a raw card scanner, the Fujitsu 8170, and we're gonna see how it goes. I don't know. I typically don't sell raw cards right now because I do not like taking the photos. I don't like, cropping. I don't like having to, recolor them or whatever to make them look nice. I just want an easy scan, goes nice and quickly. I don't have to waste time taking photos with my phone and making sure they're in focus and all that shit. I can just send it through a scanner and it's good to go. Hopefully it'll pay for itself quickly. But I did sell 2 Black Labels, so I basically paid for it with my Black Label profits, which is pretty nice. All right, last thing. And no spoilers, I promise, no spoilers. I'm just going to say this because, the finale's been out for a month now, but I watched it recently, and I have to say that I think it's still, front of my mind. It's still hot and heavy in the frontal cortex, but I think Attack on Titan might be my favorite anime of all time. That's really hard for me to say because Hunter x Hunter has been there for so long, but the way that Attack on Titan ended and binging that from start to finish over the last few weeks, all the way from day 1 to day end, was incredible. It was incredible. It was amazing. Yeah, I thought the ending was great. I thought it was great. I had to think about it a little bit because at first I was like, I don't know, and then I watched a couple videos where it was like they were explaining some things, and then I was like, gotcha. Gotcha, I get it. So yeah, AOT was fantastic. Ended great. Can't understand how people like Eren after the decisions he made. So I can't I'm not gonna spoil anything, but what I will say is I didn't like Eren at the end of the show. I hated him for most of the 4th season, and I don't really like him after finishing the show, but I would say that I have a better understanding of why he did what he did, right? So, I can say that I understand a little bit better, but still don't like him. But what I do have to say is Reiner, the best character in that show. I could probably count on one hand the amount of times that I hated a character in the first season, and by the end of the last season, they're my favorite character. I'm not sure that's ever happened, that I hated a character so much, and then all of a sudden, they're like my favorite character in the damn show. It just doesn't happen very often. And I think that that's literally just how good the writing is in Attack on Titan. Like, all the characters are so good. Yeah, and the last episode, the action sequence is incredible. It's just beautifully animated. It's so good. It's so good. I think I've watched it like 100 times, watching different reaction videos. I'm pretty sure I've watched that episode like 100 times. It's crazy. Yeah, it was very good. It was very good. So I will we'll stop talking about it now because I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. But yeah, it was good stuff. Okay, let's talk about some. Wait a minute. I don't have the right episode up. Hold on. I gotta grab the correct episode of Slabbed Podcast. We're not reacting to anything like on screen, the video or anything. I'm just going through some of the comments that were in the comments. So the first thing that I want to talk about though is I was on Slabbed Podcast and I did my my spicy comment, probably just because I guest hosted it. My spicy comment won for the best spicy comment of that week. And then the next week they had to discuss it, right? And I felt like they didn't quite understand my point. So I want to make sure that my point is made in a way, because I wasn't able to come back and talk about it because obviously Oak was feeling better and he was able to record again. So I want to make sure that that people understand what I was trying to say with my comment. So my oh, wait a minute. What the hell? Hold on. I keep pulling up the wrong episode. This is the wrong episode, but this is funny. They were talking about Thanksgiving. And Greeny was talking about that basically that he hates every vegetable known to man or something like that. So I was like, I watched the Green Shiz order a burger well done. Okay, so I'm not taking food advice from Greeny. All right, the man orders burgers well done. Okay, I can't. I'm not out here taking taking food advice. But they were shitting on stuff like the sweet potatoes and basically anything with a vegetable in it. So you're on while I'm in the shower. It's kind of weird to think that you're listening to me while you're naked, but I guess it is what it is. I've been talking back and forth with a guy who has a collection that I've been trying to figure out whether or not I want to buy it. And he's, for some reason, he responds to me with voice messages on Facebook instead of just typing back to me. So he was responding to me with voice messages today. And then he, and I keep he's in the shower while he's responding to me. I don't think I've ever brought my phone in the shower before. Like, ever. But I'm pretty sure people just bring their phones in the shower. I never do that. But I guess that's a thing. I guess that's something that some people do. I don't want my my phone getting wet. I know that it's technically waterproof to a certain extent. But yeah, yeah. Trying to support the boy while all the normies are watching the Game Awards. I did think about watching the Game Awards, but then I thought I haven't played a video game in like a year, so I don't know why I would watch the Game Awards. I haven't actually watched any of that. Let's see. Gonna ask one of the most hated questions in anime. Have you tried One Piece? No. Actually, that's not true. So I watched the live action. And then I looked online. I was like, how many episodes does the live action go up to? And it was like episode 45 or something like that. So I was like, okay, well, I'll just go from here and watch some episodes. And I think I got like 10 or 15 episodes past the live action, like where the live action stops. And then I was kind of like, there's 1,000 episodes And there, you know, I'd like to rewatch Attack on Titan, so instead I rewatched Attack on Titan. And obviously, like, Jujutsu Kaisen's out right now, so I've been watching that and stuff like that. So, but no, I haven't really dug into One Piece. But yeah, I'll try and get a topic going. I've been digging into arbitrage. Some of the margins are a little nutty. Have you been doing anything, or are you explicitly graded cards for the most part? So yeah, I'm pretty much mostly graded, but I did a little bit of arbitrage when there was a 20% buy coupon. There were decent prices on some PSA graded stuff on Buy in Japan that with the 20% off coupon, I was able to put directly into my eBay vault and will hopefully sell with no percentage off. So I should make like $50 a card on those, like $50 to $75 a card, hopefully, on those cards that I bought. But they were already graded in Japan, and then I bought them, brought them over here, PSA graded, and with the 20% off, and then I put them in the eBay vault, and hopefully they'll sell, and I'll make a little bit of money. But yeah, I haven't been doing a whole lot of like raw arbitrage, and I haven't been. I guess I did a little bit. I bought a few hundred character rares and art rares for like 60 or 70 cents a piece, and I priced them all out to like $2, $3, $4, whatever they were on eBay, and I put them up at the shop, just for something new for people to go into and see for, you know, Japanese cards. So, but nothing at like crazy scale. JJK is goated. JJK is weird. Right now, everything doesn't, and maybe it's because I just binged the show and this show's coming out every week, but I feel like every week is like a separate thing. It almost doesn't feel cohesive. Like every week, it feels episodic. Like every week something big happens, but they don't necessarily all feel connected. It's kind of strange. I don't really know how else to explain it. And to be honest, this is going to be a hot take. If we're talking spicy here, and we're going to talk JJK, let me just throw this hot take out there. The fight between the dude that Megami spawned in and Sukuna, that fight, I had no fucking clue what was going on the whole time. Everyone was like, oh my god, this animation is so amazing. I'm like, I have no fucking clue what's happening. Like, to me, the animation was so messy, I had no freaking clue what was going on in that fight the entire time. I didn't know. I mean, but again, I was rewatching Attack on Titan, which in large part, in my opinion, has flawless animation. So, yeah, I couldn't, I just couldn't tell what the hell was going on. I was watching it, and there was a lot of bright colors and a lot of craziness happening, and everything was drawn really weird, but I had no freaking clue what was going on. So, oh well. The story's been good, though. And then I feel like people are just dying. Like, no spoilers, the character that died last week, I feel like they weren't even in the show. I feel like they weren't even in the show this whole season, except for one episode. And then they're just dead. It's like, okay, I guess they're dead now. Like, there wasn't really any emotions for that death. It was just kind of like, all right, whatever. Like, the character before that person who died, that made a lot more sense and definitely had a lot more of an emotional death. But last week's character that died was just kind of like, I guess they're dead now. Seemed like a major character, but I guess they're dead now. And I didn't really feel a certain way about it. It was just like, oh, well, all right, whatever. What's up, Jackson? How's it going? Welcome. I'm doing good. We're just about to get into... Man, we're going to get there eventually, I promise. I promise. All right, here we go. Okay, so first what I wanted to talk about quick was my spicy topic that I had on Slabbed Podcast when I guest hosted. And that actually, oh God, Slabbed Podcast is here. Incoming DMCA strike. All right, here we go. Wait, who signs into the Slabbed Podcast channel? Is that Greeny? I think that's Greeny. What's up, Philip? How's it going? Me. Well, that doesn't help. That doesn't help, man. All right. First, I want to clear the air because I felt misrepresented. Just kidding. But yeah, I had a hot take when I guest hosted with Greeny. And I feel like it wasn't entirely understood during the conversation. So I wanted to make sure that my full idea was represented. So I wanted to do that first before we go into the newest hot takes from the most recent episode. Not today's episode, the episode last week. So yeah, my hot take during that episode was people emotionally attached to their purchases, and that is why debates in this space are rarely productive. So for me, kind of what I was trying to get at was when money is involved in arguments or conversations or debates, usually it doesn't go well because people are very emotionally attached to finances. Finances are not really something that you can separate from, like, that you can logically separate from, like, you know, if we're gonna have a debate on which anime is better, Attack on Titan or Jujutsu Kaisen, that is a subjective argument. We can go back and forth. We can talk about the animation. We can talk about the storytelling. We can talk about all those different things. But neither one of us is financially invested into either one of those shows, right? So it's we can logically and objectively have that conversation without there being any external, like, pressure based on how much money we have invested into that thing, right? So, but I feel like from what I've seen in the Pokemon hobby is when people have debates, usually it's about stupid shit like, should people hold modern? Does modern beat usually it's with modern. Usually it's with modern Pokemon, let's be real. Usually the dumb debates revolve around people fighting about vintage versus modern and modern investing and all that crap. But when it happens, I feel like you can't really get an objective, like, facts-based argument going or debate going, because most of the time it's between two people or at least one person who's heavily invested into a position, into that side, monetarily. And when you criticize something that someone is monetarily invested in, usually what comes with that is an emotional response. Usually what comes with that is not objective, logical, like, thinking. It is anger because you're challenging where that person's decided to not only intelligently or logically invest their money, but also emotionally, because money is super sensitive. Like Ernie's saying, money is super sensitive for most people, because most people don't have a ton of money to put into this stuff that they can just, like, not think about it. You know, most people are taking a certain amount out of their paychecks, their work paychecks, or they're taking a certain amount out of their savings, and they're putting it into Pokemon. And when you do that, you're very emotionally attached to those purchases. So I think the best way to kind of explain this is when a brand new video game comes out, you see this all the time. When a brand new video game comes out, everyone spends, $60, $70 on it, right? And then those reviews come out that just shit on that video game, right? Like, let's say you're invested, you're $70 into the video game, you're playing it, you're like, oh, you know what? This isn't the most perfect game, but it's not like bad. I spent $70 into it, but whatever. It's fun. I'm having a good time. And then that one review comes out and is like, this game sucks. But you spent $70 on it. So here comes all the Twitter people who spent $70 on the game and have to fight back because the game that objectively sucks doesn't suck because I spent $70 on it and I refuse to say that it sucks. Because they just can't be objective about like the monetary side of investing into things. And I feel like the Pokemon space falls into that a lot too, because all of us have money in these things. We're all monetarily invested. And it's an emotionally sensitive topic when it comes to money and making money. And whether or not your money's in the best place or not, all that stuff, people get offended very easily when money is involved. So that was just what I was saying. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have arguments or debates or anything like that. I just think so far, I think a lot of the debates around Pokemon, or like the quote-unquote formal arguments that people have tried to have in the past, haven't really gone anywhere, because usually it just ends up with someone being offended and then emotionally arguing the point, not logically arguing the point. So that was what I was originally, kind of going with that. I think people want to have debates in the space. I just don't think it usually turns out well. I think it ends up being more drama than it is like actually educational and something that people can learn from. So the trick would be to have Dan debate himself. We should get off the fence Dan to debate on the fence Dan and see which one wins. See if on the fence comes off the fence or if off the fence goes on the fence. Agreed. People get heated when they feel critiqued. Yeah, for sure. I agree with the Spice. I think it's definitely hard to have the real discussions. Yeah, I think there are people who can have it. The problem is even more confused. I felt like that was really good. I felt like I explained it really well. Shit. But okay. All right. Yeah, long story short, people get sensitive when money's involved. Conversations don't usually go well. Arguments, debates don't usually end in a logical manner when there's money involved. Yeah, okay. There you go. But yeah, definitely not saying that you shouldn't argue, that you shouldn't have debates, that you shouldn't have conversations back and forth with people who you disagree with. Not saying that. I'm just saying it's not sure how well they actually come across. I'm confused too, podcast. Oh, shut up. Greeny's talking to himself in chat. The only people who should be having debate are people who are disconnected and only see them as SKUs in short-term inventory. I think there is a way, but I think it's just difficult. I think it's really difficult for people to objectively and logically talk about these things when money's involved. That's the whole point. Is I think it's, for the average person, it's very difficult to do that. So situations and conversations are generally avoided because they can hurt feelings, which is the right course of action usually. Yeah, I mean, it just sucks that feelings aren't involved at all. But I mean, they have to be. But it'd be nice if people would objectively or logically think about these things instead of emotionally always, reacting emotionally to being challenged. It'd be nice if people thought about these things to the point where they could defend a critique when it came in without just saying, you're wrong, boo boo baba, you're mean, that type of stuff, where I feel like it usually ends up. Why do you choose this subject for this stream? Well, that was the first spicy. So that was a spicy topic that I had, but the spicy topics that I'll be going into now are the ones from last week's episode of Slabbed podcast. Basically, I think it was a few weeks ago or maybe a month ago, I joked that I was going to do that. I would probably never be on Slabbed podcast. So I decided that I would go through and talk about the spicy comments myself. And then I think 2 weeks later, Greeny reached out and was like, hey, can you fill in for Oak on Slabbed podcast? So that didn't work out very well because I actually ended up on Slabbed podcast. So, but we're going back and we're doing it anyway. I dare you to critique the $50,000 PSA 10 Rumble Pachirisu. Is that an actual thing? There ain't any way in hell I'm spending $50,000 on a Pachirisu. That's for sure. I don't care how rare that card is. All right. I think this is the one from last week. All right. Let's go through. So the winner was Philip. I don't know if he's still in chat, but the winner was Philip. Philip had the hobby. I'll read it over here because it gets cut off on my screen. The hobby is actually in a great spot right now. Great buying opportunities, minimal scalping, products on shelves, FOMO in check. YouTube Pokemon conversations are more fun-based than money-focused. I think I guess it depends on who you watch for the last part, but I would say that might be generally true. There's definitely stuff on shelves. I was at Target today picking up cat food, and there was Pokemon stuff everywhere. There was any set that you could possibly want. Pokemon 151, literally anything. There were Crown Zenith ETBs. There were, I saw Vivid Voltage ETBs at Target like 2 weeks ago. Like, there's Pokemon from like any set that you could possibly imagine. So there's definitely loads of Pokemon on the shelves. Do you chat too much? No, you're fine. I'm not going to read every chat, but you can chat as much as you want. Just don't spam, but, you know, I think it's been fun. So, great buying opportunities. If you're bullish on Pokemon, then yeah, it is a great time to buy right now if you're bullish on Pokemon in general. If you think that Pokemon in the future will have an upward trajectory, then yeah, from where we're at right now, obviously, yeah, you would think that this is a great buying period because, you know, PSA 9 first edition cards are like cheaper than they've ever been, I think. And I'm not really into like the English market, but a lot of Japanese stuff is down as well after the crazy high and then the massive downfall that happened in the last like month or so. Or in the last like three months or so now. Man, that was a while ago that actually happened. But yeah, so buying opportunities, yeah, probably. As long as you're bullish on the hobby. Minimal scalping. Yeah, I mean, stuff's available in stores, so there's not really much to scalp. If you can just walk into the store and get it. You're not really... I even saw, what was it? What is that stupid Disney TCG? It's not stupid, but like, what's it called? Lorcana. So I was at Target tonight grabbing cat litter, and for the first time, I saw Lorcana in Target, and it was just the starter decks. So I looked up how much the starter decks were going for because I was like, this is the first time I've seen it, man. Maybe I have to buy some starter decks. And then I looked at it, and it was like they're pretty much the same online as they are in store. Probably because they're starter decks. But yeah, I didn't... all right, see you later, Jackson. Have fun. But I didn't buy any. I didn't see any sleeve blisters. All I saw were the starter decks and then some like 60 card deck things as well. But yeah, they were all like pre-built stuff. I mean, the blisters may have been bought out already. I'm not sure, but I didn't see blisters myself. But yeah, there's tons of stuff in store right now. Tons of stuff. All right. So yeah, I think Philip is correct. As long as you're bullish on the hobby, I think he's definitely correct. Seeing mom and dad fighting is really sad. That was Greenies. What? Greenies. Seeing mom and dad fighting is really sad. Yeah, I mean, that would suck. If your parents are fighting, that always sucks. That's not fun. Not a fun experience. Okay. I forget where people... I don't know what this is in reference to. If Greeny's still here, he can tell us what this is in reference to. I don't remember what this is in reference to, but Oak says, if Pokemon were real, I would definitely eat them. Oh, was in relation to... Oh, so were you talking about like David Person and like Scott Pratt and that whole situation at this point? I think that might have been maybe. Or like the Scott Bassett stuff. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't think I've watched a Scott Pratt video in like months. I don't even remember the last Scott Pratt video I watched. Well, because he's not really making like videos. He's only doing what's at auction, right? Like consignment style videos. He's not making the videos that he used to make. Or maybe he does, but maybe it's like a once a month thing. I don't know. Yeah, I haven't watched much. I did go down the rabbit hole of David Person in that podcast, Coffee Talks. That was fun. David Person is... Those two are hilarious. I feel like I consistently laugh out loud watching that podcast because of how funny they are. Jesus, their banter back and forth is hilarious. So yeah. Yeah, so that's cool. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think in the grand scheme of things, it's probably not going to matter at all for that back and forth kind of fighting stuff. I don't know. You hear about all the Pokemon Center drops today? Rebel Clash booster boxes. Rebel Clash. I love this stuff. It's so funny how this stuff goes in cycles. Oh man, you get like a Steam Siege drop on Pokemon Center now, and people are like, "Steam Siege, guys! Did you see that Steam Siege was on Pokemon Center?" And I'm just sitting here like, that's like the worst set ever made. Steam Siege! Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't personally be very excited about Rebel Clash. But yeah, I wasn't paying attention well enough to Discord. But, it's the 151 boxes, I think, had the Pokemon Center version boxes out. I probably would have bought a case of those if I was aware that they were dropping. Unfortunately, I wasn't. And I missed the boat. Same with I think the Pokemon Center version of the... I forget what that set's called. Obsidian Flames. I think that came out as well. I didn't get a case of those. I probably would have got a case of each if I was paying attention when they dropped, though. Because I don't currently have a case of those. And I think those products are probably the only products going forward that I'm going to keep sealed. Are the Pokemon Center ones. Probably will start a bit of a sealed position in the Pokemon Center ETBs going forward. I hope to be as spunky as David in my 60s. I agree. Me too. But yeah, I saw the drops. I didn't pick anything up. I saw the tins. I saw somebody was saying that the tins have evolutions in them, but then I saw somebody saying that the tins have 2 printings, and there's one with Scarlet Violet packs, or Sword and Shield packs, and there's one with the older stuff. So just be careful if you're buying the tins. They may show up with Rebel Clash in them. So just, be wary. Apparently there were 2 printings of those tins, so. But yeah, so let's see. Let's keep moving on. We've got Professor Oak says, if Pokemon were real, I would definitely eat them. I 100% agree. I would eat most of them. Whichever ones they've made based around food at this point, I would probably eat. So, yeah. Especially the meats, like Tauros. Make a nice Tauros burger out of them. Miltank would be great. Some ground beef there. You got a bunch of great Pokemon. Alcremie. You got Vanillite. Some ice cream Pokemon. You got all those different Pokemon to choose from to eat. There's so many different Pokemon to choose from to eat. I would absolutely eat all of those. You seem like a Glizzy Gobbler. I'm not the one with a full 480 card binder full of Digletts, all right? So who's the Glizzy Gobbler, brother? some Gardevoir ribs. Yeah, exactly. Well, that wouldn't be kind of weird, but I would try it. I'm not against trying that, but that one might be a little odd. Some of those humanoid creatures would be a little bit weird to butcher. you'd probably feel a little weird taking out some of those humanoid shaped ones, but you never know. Some Mewtwo wings. I don't know. Some Mewtwo tail. There you go. That tail's probably got all sorts of flesh in it that you could grill up, make some burgers out of it. Pincer steaks. Pincer's a bug. Ooh, okay. I've heard that No, he's not a scorpion. Is he anything? He's not really anything, right? He's just like a made-up bug? Or is he an actual bug? I don't know. But yeah, I would definitely eat Pokemon if they were real, for sure. Not my Pokemon, though. I wouldn't, like, raise Pokemon to eat them. I would have my Pokemon, kind of like my pets, and then I would eat other Pokemon. Because I'm sure, like, Miltank and Tauros and stuff, they would be put onto farms just like we have, like, cows and, steers and stuff now, and then we would just, we'd just eat them. We would farm them out and eat them. All right, next one is from Anthony. Base set Unlimited Charizard PSA 9 is the most undervalued card in the hobby. It is low pop at 7,000. When you consider the number of people in the hobby that would like to own it, it is the equivalent of the 86 Fleer Jordan, yet a fraction of the price. What? I can't speak on this. I have no idea. I like base set Charizard. I don't know if I would say that PSA 9 base set Charizard is the most undervalued card in the hobby. I think what he's trying to say is that the demand trumps the supply. So the supply of PSA 9s at 7,000 is nowhere near the demand of the amount of people that want the card. Therefore, he thinks that the card's price is too low. I don't know, because I don't think you can really accurately judge demand. There could be, 5 people at any given time on eBay hoping to get a PSA 9 base set Charizard. And then, who knows? It might not go for that much, at auction or whatever. I don't know. I'm not good with the whole supply and demand thing, because I try not to think about, like, what other people want. Kind of. I just look at what things are selling for right now. I don't really care what they might sell for in the future. Does that make sense? So when it comes to questions of, like, whether a card is undervalued, I'm just like, I don't know. What's it sell for? $100? Can I buy it for 40? Can I grade it for 15? Can I sell it for 100? I'll do that. I don't really care if it's undervalued or overvalued. Rumble Pachirisu is the most undervalued card in the hobby. Oh, I just saw that your profile picture is Pachirisu. I like Pachirisu. He's probably one of the cuter of the Pikachu clones, but I don't know, man. 50K. Didn't you say 50K? There's no way a Pachirisu sold for 50K. I highly reject that even happened. I could be wrong, though. Greyfell Hat Pikachu took a fall, got 2 PSA 10s. I saw them going for, or I saw somebody had posted a bunch of them for like 130 each. But I did see, I think some were listed around like the 100 mark at some point. So I don't know. I wonder when the buyouts will happen. I wonder how far down it has to go before someone like Dan is out there buying like 300 of them. He's probably already got 300 of them. Let's be real. All right. What are we up to next? PSA for all viewers that do not want to throw up, just skip 7:30. I was trying to eat breakfast when I was listening to this podcast, and the way that Oak was describing how he eats mayo with pizza made me want to throw up. I 100% agree, Johto Jake. That made me want to vomit. I was trying to eat breakfast. And the way that he was talking about how he takes his pizza and he scoops it into the mayo and it has all this big dollop of mayo on it and he goes to eat. Nope. That was... Oh, that was something else. Should not watch that while you're eating. It was rough. All right? It was rough. Okay? They needed like a trigger warning before that. That was so graphic and gross. All right. Professor Birch. Professor Birch says, if people spent as much time on their collections and businesses like they do on Discord, they'd be closer or would have already accomplished their goals, milestones. I mean, true? That's like objectively true. If you spent more time doing the thing, you'd be closer to achieving your goals in that thing. Like, yeah. He's not wrong. Like, that's pretty accurate. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. Oh god, Oak is here. Oh god, Oak is here. Everybody run. Oh, his name changed. I don't have to change my name to Java Okuma. In solidarity, he got his name changed back. Let's go. Let's go. Oh man. That's good. That's good. Garlic mayo with the crust, why not? On the cheese and all, no need. Bro, I'm telling you. Go back to that episode and watch the way that Oak talks about eating pizza, eating mayo on pizza, and you might lose your lunch, all right? I'm just saying. You just got to go back and listen to it. I was having trouble eating breakfast that day, listening to it. It was rough. Work banning Discord for the third time after I managed to cheese the firewall. Oh, man. Kind of guy to eat his pizza with a spoon. Oh, bro. No, the problem is he uses his pizza as a spoon and dips it in mayo. Brutal. All right. So, yes, Birch, you're objectively correct. If you spend more time doing a thing, you're more likely to be closer to finishing that thing. True. Very true. I think this was supposed to be more of a slight of, like, people shouldn't spend so much time on Discord, maybe, or something. I'm not really sure. I'm on Discord all the time. Basically, the Pokenomics Discord and Oaks Discord, I basically read everything that's not RuneScape related. Everything else, I basically read. Except, well, I even read the people that I've blocked. Because stupid Discord, okay? I block people intentionally. Because I'm like, this person is not a person who I want to know opinions of. So then I'm like, block. And then Discord is like, no. Discord's like, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hide their message, but you're still going to know that they made a message. Okay, well then I have to look at the message. I can't have a message pop up and not look at it. Discord, all they do is hide the message. They don't actually block the person. So then I end up just looking at the messages anyway. Discord. You dip your Chick-fil-A sandwiches in Polynesian sauce? Well, that actually sounds pretty good. Less Discord free time for Reddit and Twitch. True. All right. Next up. How nuts is it that V-Star Universe became the most second greatest set of all time? Yeah. True. Curious who these people are now? Do I want... I could call out one person. Today years old when I found out you could block people in Discord. It doesn't do anything. I mean, you can block them, but it's like you can still see the messages that they send. You can't read them, but it's like, of course you want to know. They just tease you with it. So then you're like, okay, show. Call them out. Oh, got your... No, it's for stupid stuff. It's not that I don't like the person. It's just that, like, it's just for some stupid stuff every now and again. So I don't want to call out anyone specifically. Like, I feel like there's some people on Discord that get bored at work and then they just want to argue about stuff. And those are the types of people that I'm like, I can tell that you're bored. I can tell that all you want to do right now is argue. And I can tell that this discussion is not going to be productive at all. So I'm just like, I'm just going to block you. There are some people in Discords that do that, where it's just like, you can tell, and it's like, come on. Gotcha, Z and G. No, not Z and G. Although, no, I don't have Z and G blocked. Okay, here's what I'll do. I'll do it. Okay, I'll do it. I'm gonna open Discord. I'm gonna go to Oak's Discord, and I'm going to click on the first person I have blocked, and whoever that is, I will call out right now. Oak's Lab. Oh God, there's three blocked messages immediately. Oh no, this is a horrible this is a horrible idea. This doesn't mean that I don't like the person, okay? I'm just saying that. This does not mean that I don't like the person. It just means that sometimes I don't want to see what they say, okay? And usually I read all the messages anyway, but sometimes it's nice to have the option not to, okay? I'm trying to preface this, all right? Okay? Okay, the first person... I actually don't even know why this person is still blocked. The first person, I don't even know who it is. They could have a completely different username. That, like, they could be in stream right now, and I wouldn't even know. Because I think they might have a different Discord username than they do a YouTube username. Their Discord username is Avocado. I did it, okay? Their Discord username is Avocado. They are a person that I currently have blocked on Discord. And I think it's because they're just a gigantic troll. This person is a gigantic troll. And sometimes it gets to be a little bit too much. So I just turn it off. All right, I did it. All right, I did it. He may or may not be your Secret Santa. No, hey, I already know who my Secret Santa is because they already told me, because they didn't ship their damn package on time. They didn't ship their damn package on time, and they're like, can I just send the package directly to you? Java, the reason our community has drama. You know what? At least I did it. At least I was truthful. I actually did it. And now I'm going to unblock everyone in Discord because I feel horrible about it. Which Discord are you referring to? You know, I don't think I'm going to say. We're just going to move on from that topic. Let's move on to the next one. What is the next one? From Doodles in the Membrane. Not getting your chase cards right off the bat is actually healthier for long term in the hobby. Not getting your chase cards right off the bat is actually healthier long term in the hobby. Oh, I have to really think about this one. I don't know. Not getting your chase cards right off the bat is actually... Here's what I think about. If I don't pull something I want to pull in the first, like, couple $100 of product that I open, usually I'm just not going to pull it because I'm going to stop opening stuff. And then if that product goes up in price, like let's say that $3 pack goes up to like $6 to $8, I'm definitely not opening the set now. So I don't know if it's better or worse. I think you should get your chase card right off the bat. I don't know. That's how I interact with it personally, is I typically will open, the first like case of ETBs. If I don't pull what I want, I usually am done opening the set, period. So yeah, I don't know if it is good or bad. I do think that I like the pull rates that Scarlet and Violet has had recently. I know that some people are like, oh, well, the singles prices are always going to be low because it's too easy to pull the hits and blah, 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 blah. I personally have really liked the pull rates so far of Scarlet Violet because it's made the sets fun to open. If I'm going to open product, I want to have fun doing it. And I've had kind of a lot of fun, apart from the fact that the cards are always in terrible condition, but I've had a lot of fun opening Scarlet and Violet because I'm pulling like some really cool cards in like a case of a Scarlet and Violet set. I've actually really enjoyed that, but yeah, I understand some people's hang up with like, oh, well, the single prices are gonna, you know, blah, blah, blah. They're gonna suck because, you know, they're too easy to pull. But I've enjoyed it, honestly. But that's because I'm primarily opening modern English. I'm not holding it. I'm not keeping it sealed, hoping it goes up. I'm not buying singles, hoping they go up. I'm just opening it and wanting to have fun with it on a video. So it's more fun for me if I'm pulling stuff than if I'm opening like Evolving Skies and I pull nothing in like 20 packs. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't know. If I pull the Super Chase card early, it tempts me more to master set it. But yeah, that kind of makes sense, right? Because if you get the most, I mean, that's the way that some people say that you should collect too. If you're doing sets, is you should buy the most expensive card first, because then you have the hardest thing to get out of the way immediately, and then it's a lot easier from there to finish the rest of the set. So I agree with you, Philip. I think if you pull like the biggest chase card, then it's like, okay, well, if I did want to finish this set, it would be a lot easier now than having to literally like spend $100 on like the chase card or whatever, you know, out of pocket. So yeah, I agree with that. That makes sense. The opening experience needs to feel good so the normies keep buying product. True. That's one thing that I feel like is kind of weird about long-term holding is like, shouldn't the pull rates of a product, I mean, and I don't think that this necessarily follows historically, but shouldn't the pull rates affect whether or not the price of that product goes up or down? I feel like it kind of should. I don't know if it actually does, but, you know, because if you look at Burning Shadows, well, Burning Shadows is actually isn't Burning Shadows kind of cheap compared to some of the other, like, Sun and Moon sets per pack? Maybe it's one of the more expensive ones. I'm not really sure. But, like, some of the sets where the pull rates are really horrible, or the condition is really horrible, I feel like those sets, I just wouldn't want to open them later on. But I guess it increases the gambling aspect of it. So maybe because it's so much harder to pull, the condition's not that great, people will spend more because it's an even, you know, it's an even bigger chase. It's an even bigger gamble. And the gamblers would really want that like later on. So, but for me, I always thought like pull rates would affect why I would open a set like in 10 years, for instance. That's why Hidden Fates will boom someday, I believe. I still think Hidden Fates is the best shiny set. Yep. I still think Hidden Fates is the best shiny set. I think I could say that. I think hidden shit. I was going to say hidden shit for some reason. I do think Hidden Fates is still the best shiny set. I feel like cards going out of rotation is going to hurt sealed investment more than people think it will. But do you really think that people... I mean, I think that if anything, like the fact that people want to open Diamond and Pearl and some of those other sets is just the chase and like wanting to be a part of breaks and stuff like that. It's not necessarily because those cards aren't playable, but everyone still pays, you know, hundreds of dollars in their, you know, packs to open those cards. Fusion Strike, I think, is one of the more underrated sets just in general, in my opinion. I think that set's actually really good. It's got some really nice cards, at least. I've bought 150 packs in different product. The dust is strong in me. All right, did we actually answer the question? We did. Okay, on to the next one. Quaxley would be the best tasking Pokemon. Blue Duck. Come on. What does that mean? What does that mean? Tasking Pokemon. Quaxley would be the best tasking Pokemon. Blue Duck. I don't know what that means. Someone's gonna have to explain this. I have no idea what a tasking Pokemon would be. Maybe that's like an autocorrect? We'll go on to the next one. Maybe someone in chat will let me know what I've got wrong here. On to the next one. iFOMO says, school isn't cheap. They don't tell you about the extras. Best of luck next year. Okuma! Yeah, school is definitely not cheap. That is for sure. School is definitely not cheap. Thankfully, I haven't been in school for a while, but I'm still paying back student loans, so that's definitely not cheap. Future Strike has the best Sword and Shield... at the best alt art of the Sword and Shield era, the Gengi. I don't know if I would say the Gengar is my favorite. It's a good one. I don't know if it's my favorite though, but it is a solid one for sure. All right, Spicy, the Pole Father. It only takes one. It is harder to get out of the cabal than Pokemon YouTuber drama. Wait a minute. It's harder to get out of the cabal than it is to get out of PokeTuber drama? Not like the same thing? Isn't being in the cabal like participating in PokeTuber drama? I feel like that's the same thing. The Mexican hipster. Children, please cover your ears for 2 seconds. Greenie likes to get fisted. Okay. Greenie, do you have a response? I definitely want to try pizza with mayo or Chipotle mayo for that spice factor. Hey, Chipotle mayo is good. Regular mayo is disgusting, okay? Maybe a hot take, but regular mayo, gross. Chipotle mayo, delicious. Big difference, okay? But that is 100% facts. All right, next up. Brother Brock says, TPCI will eventually start selling PC exclusive booster boxes to squeeze more dollars out of people. I sure hope not. That would be weird. Yo, what's up, Jeffrey? How's it going? Just got here and the first thing I heard is disgusting. Oh, man. I hope they don't start selling PC exclusive booster boxes, but I guess it's possible. Maybe with a PC exclusive booster box, they bring back like box toppers. Maybe they do a special booster box with like a box topper for the PC exclusive ones. But yeah, I hope that doesn't happen. I hope booster boxes stay what they are, and then ETBs they can get creative with. And maybe the booster bundles. They could always do like a PC exclusive booster bundle. But I feel like that's just an ETB. Like, I don't know. Is that really any different? Alright, Spike says Mayo slabs have an untapped market potential. Change my mind. Oak, have you tried that yet? Have you tried taking mayo, putting it on a slab, and then putting pizza, and then trying to eat it? Not the slab, but like using the PSA slab as a delivery mechanism, put it under the pizza, and then use it as almost like a big flat fork to then shove the pizza into your mouth using a PSA slab. You could do that. You could try it and see if it makes it any better. It might already be perfect. So. Oh, man. Next up, Sakura Cash says, based on the amount of 9s that PSA is giving out on ultra-modern Japanese cards, ultra-modern English 10s probably shouldn't even exist. I have not had this experience, and I don't know how others are having this experience. This is a weird phenomenon to me that I'm not a part of. Based on the amount of 9s that PSA is giving out to Ultra Modern. Where? I haven't gotten a lot of Ultra Modern 9s. That's not saying that they don't exist, but I feel like, again, I know some people have been saying, oh, PSA is grading harder at New Jersey than they are in, you know, San Diego or wherever the hell they are over in California. San Jose, whichever place, I forget. I think people just have to pre-grade their cards better. I don't want to be that guy that's like, oh yeah, maybe it's you, but I really haven't had much of a problem with Japanese Modern getting a bunch of 9s. Like, occasionally I'll get a 9. It'll be like 10, 10, 10, 9, 10, 10, 10, 10, 9, 10. It's like, it's maybe like 10 9s out of like 100 10s or something like that. But usually it's not that horrible of a discrepancy between the two grades. So, but I kind of feel like if that's the case, I feel like people are just sending Japanese Modern and they're not looking at it. Because a little bit of pre-grading goes a long way with Japanese Modern. You don't have to look at it very hard, but just make sure there's no whitening around the edges, make sure there's no dents or scratches on the back, and you should be okay. Make sure the centering's decent. But I tend to be pretty strict on pre-grading, so I don't know. I don't think I've ever just done a full send and not looked at cards. I think I always pre-grade. So, how many PSAs do you have? How many PSA cards? I think they're all listed on eBay right now. So, I have 175 active listings quantity. I probably have like 250 slabs. It's not really that much. Okay, super important question. What is your AC set at? 69 degrees. I think I always have it at 69 or 70, depending on if I'm feeling cold. But yeah, I think it's like 69. I thought more like 1,000. No, nope. Just like 250. I think the tip is stop grading print lines. Yeah, I think with PSA, print lines are definitely a thing. Although I did send some, you know those Pikachu VMAX promos? The Coral promos? Like, every single one of those cards have print lines. And I got a healthy amount of 10s of those. Most of them got 10s, actually, from PSA. And most of them have, like, the crosshair print line, where it's, like, one down the, one horizontal and one vertical. But yeah, I mean, I know that PSA is kind of stickler on print lines, but yeah, careful about print lines. Kanto is the only reason that PTCG is maintaining popularity. I wouldn't say that Kanto's the only reason, but I would say it's a massive reason. I think that people definitely underestimate how important the Pokemon species is. And I think we see that with sets like Shining Fates, and I think we're going to see that with a set like Paldean Fates. I think, although it has shiny Pokemon, I think there's not a whole lot of chase in it, apart from the Charizard and the Gardevoir. Maybe? I mean, Gardevoir's popular, but... But the baby shinies are like 95% Paldean Pokemon, which I don't think very many people actually like Paldean Pokemon. I don't think they're very popular. Same thing with Sun and Moon Pokemon. I think the bulk of Sun and Moon Pokemon aren't very popular. Same with Scarlet and Violet Pokemon. I think the bulk of Scarlet and Violet aren't very popular, because I think the majority of the people in the hobby right now are people like me and people like you guys who grew up with this, who played, you know, Kanto, who have reverence for Charizard and the Gen 1 and the Gen 2 and the Gen 3, and then people like me are passing down to their children saying Charizard is the coolest Pokemon. And here, play this Let's Go game because it's a remake of Gen 1. and they want to have that connection with their kids, so they're introducing them to the same generations that they grew up with. And while they play the originals, I think there's less of a like excitement factor over the newest Pokemon as there is versus like reprints or new printings of already established popular Pokemon like evolutions or Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3 Pokemon or legendary stuff like that. So I think there may be a time when certain eras become more popular as we go along, possibly. But the problem is you also get into this weird space where it's like Gen 1 and Gen 2 was at like the height of popularity for Pokemon. I don't even know if the boom was as big as when the cards and the games first came out. Like that first boom was insane versus even I think the most recent boom that we had in 2020 or whatever it was. So you have the height of popularity when it first kicks off in the first two sets. Gen 3, it starts to taper off. Gen 4 and 5 and some of those DS era games are when Pokemon was the least popular it's ever been. And then Sword and Shield is when the other boom happened and everyone got back into it again. And so it's like you have those mid-era sections and those kids are starting to become adults and have like expendable incomes, but there's not as many of them. I don't think. There's not as many people who have a reverence for Gen 4 and 5 as there are Gen 1 and 2. So, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see if Pokemon from those generations become more popular, or if they'll just kind of stay the same, or if anything outpaces Gen 1 and Gen 2 and some legendaries and stuff from Gen 3 and 4 in the long run versus those just always staying the most popular Pokemon. So I know that when I'm targeting stuff to buy and flip, it is not the new Pokemon. I never target new species of Pokemon, ever. I'm always targeting popular Pokemon from Gen 1 through Gen 4, basically, and maybe one or two from Gen 5. But usually, I'm not even touching Sun and Moon Pokemon. I'm not even touching Scarlet and Violet Pokemon. I'm not even touching the newest sets. I just, nope. But because they're just less popular. So, but yeah, we'll see how Shiny Treasure and Paldean Fates goes with that rundown of baby shinies. All right, what do we got? Fox McCloud. We're working through. We're almost there. Fox McCloud. Graded video games look 10 times better as display pieces than graded cards. Hey, kitty cat. Girl. I think graded video games look good. I think graded cards look good though as well. I have both. I love video games. That's one collection that I might actually start up as like a personal collection, is doing video games again. I'm gonna have to do a stream here at some point or a video because I actually found my complete photoed inventory of my video game collection from like a decade ago that I used to have, that I sold to pay for college. And it is terrifying. I even have lists of what they cost at the time in which we moved down here to North Carolina, which was 8 years ago. So I even documented what the games cost now versus, and I've looked at a couple comparisons of what they cost back then versus what they cost now, and it is frightening. It is staggering. I almost wish I didn't find it, but I found it, and it's definitely interesting. It would be a fun video, I think. It's a bit of a time capsule. What college did you go to? I went to 4 different colleges, all for 1 degree. It was horrible. First, I went to a private art school for filmmaking. Hold on. My throat's drying out. First, I went to a private school for filmmaking. Then I went to a public university for business. And then I went to then I finished an associate's degree at a community college. And then I went back to a public university to finish my 4-year. So yeah, I was like, and I finished my 4-year in digital media technology, web design. So it was like, it was at least 4 colleges. It might have been 5. Actually, I went to 5 colleges. Holy shit. I went to 5 different colleges for 1 degree. It was horrible. I did not like college. I did not like college, and I did not know what I wanted to do for work. And I still don't. Which sucks, but it is what it is. Alright. The Hoenn Bazaar. Who thinks PSA will drop price below $13.99 before Christmas? $13.99 was their special, right? Didn't they just do a special? Is it still in effect right now, or is the special over? It might have been over at the end of November. I don't think they'll permanently drop their price. I don't think they have to. Especially with, this is something that I've been running into, but it's, what I think is the problem is CGC's turnaround times have only gotten worse. They're just as bad, if not a little worse, than PSA's current bulk turnaround times. So I think because of that, like, you might as well, like, I've basically been sending most of my stuff to PSA, even with the cheaper cost of CGC, because I like speed, man. I'll pay a little bit more for the speed. I need it to be fast, and if it's not fast, then I don't know why I would, use that over the other thing that, a lot of people know, or a lot of people like. So I've been sending a lot more to PSA than I would typically, because CDC's turnaround times just kind of suck right now. And I don't think that the competition right now is making it so that PSA feels any pressure to do anything. So I think PSA can just keep going. Maybe they do another $13.99 for the holiday, but they don't need to. They just keep going. People will sub anyway. Yeah, the Omega, that 200,000, it has to be the reason why the turnaround times got worse, right? Like, I think it has to. I think they even said as much, that was the reason why the turnaround times got worse. I do think that it ultimately, like, people like me, who would have sent a lot more cars to CGC, my last submissions all went to PSA, because the reason why I use CGC is speed. It's cheaper and it was faster. And if that faster component is gone, then it's still $5 cheaper, which is good, but for the stuff that I'm submitting, I may as well just go to PSA. So it sucks, because I want CGC to go back to the way that it was, where it was like super fast turnaround times, 960 grading, on top of things, but they're just not. They're just slowed down significantly, so unfortunately. All right. The Hoenn Bazaar. People hold on to some cards for too long and reject reasonable offers that would propel their business to a higher level. Absolutely. I do it. It's been something that I've been trying to get better at. Bro, my throat. I've been talking too much. It's been something that I've been trying to get better at, is just selling stuff when offers come in, and not needing to like nickel and dime over like $5 or $2. If you're making a profit, then let it go. Make the money, let it go, buy some more. And I mean, the biggest culprits for that are the ponchos, obviously. I probably should sell those. If I was a smart businessman, I would sell those today. And I would put that money into actual, like, into more inventory. But apparently I'm not a very smart businessman because they are still on the shelf. So if I was smart, I would send them off to eBay Vault and they would get sold. But right now they sit on the shelf. How's it going, Jesse, by the way? Welcome. All right, what do we got? But yeah, people absolutely hold on to cards too long and reject reasonable offers to propel their businesses forward. I don't know if you guys are in the Pokenomics Discord, but if you are, people have been sharing their recent 90 days from eBay. Holy shit. Some people are crazy. Like, I thought my 90 day in sales was pretty good. I've seen some 90 days that are like $90,000 in 90 days. In 90 days on eBay. Jesus. That's just incredible. That's crazy. That is crazy. My 90 day, significantly less than that. Still good, in my opinion, but significantly less than that, that's for sure. I did look at my eBay sales year over year from last year to this year, and I've successfully 3 times my sales from last year to this year. So last year, I was at, oh, maybe it was you that shared it, Jesse. Minus bank on 90K. Who shared it? Somebody shared it. Did you share it in Pokenomics? Somebody shared one in Pokenomics and it was around 90K and I was just like, holy shit. Oh, you're not in there? Gotcha. Yeah, that's crazy. That's awesome. Congrats, man. But yeah, mine, my sales last year, I ended the year at $24,000 in sales. And this year, I'm ending the year almost at $80,000. So we might hit $80,000 by the end of the year, which would be awesome. And then that's not including the comic store sales and stuff like that. So I think I might hit 6 figures, but we have successfully scaled from 24,000 last year to almost 80,000 this year so far, which is really, really cool. Economics are so fickle. Could be 90K in revenue and lower profit margins. No, absolutely true. Yeah, that could be not, like, for me, for instance, the last 2 years I've put everything back into. So basically, I have 75K in sales right now, but I'm pretty sure I've spent probably close to that. Just putting it back into money and grading fees and all that stuff. So yeah, I mean, I'm constantly reinvesting into, but I think that's also how I've scaled 3 times in the past year, is I'm not pulling anything out for me. I'm literally putting it all back into cards. So that guy also lists 50 times a day and has 9K listings. Yeah, I saw that. I saw 9K listings. Holy shit. How do you even get 9K listings? What is he selling? It can't be graded cards. There's no way that he has 9,000 graded cards. I mean, he could. It's got to be like raw cards and stuff. All right, Jackson, we'll see you later, man. Thanks for stopping in. Appreciate it. All right. PSA is not grading harder. You're just a bad pre-grader, or you're getting too lazy to properly pre-grade. Now, this I actually agree with. I do think, I don't really think that PSA is getting harder. I do think that people just are not pre-grading, or they're not properly pre-grading. But obviously PSA is PSA, and PSA is incredibly inconsistent. So just because you get one submission back that's like 140 out of 150 PSA 10s, and then the next one you get back is 100 cards and it's 69s and 40 10s, that doesn't mean that all of a sudden PSA changed their grading, you know? So people are very like anecdotal people. So when you get 2 anecdotes and they're extremely different and you're like, wait a minute, did they change something? It's like, no, usually they're not changing something. They're just incredibly inconsistent. So Poke Collectibles. Ernie is talking about somebody in the Pokenomics Discord. I forget what the username is, but we don't have to put it in here. It's just a person in the Pokenomics Discord. Let's see. He's got a lot of the same stuff we sell plus singles. I'm starting. Well, I think I told you guys this, but I bought a single scanner. Oh yeah, Thunder Moo. That's right. Yeah. I bought a single scanner, so I'll be having singles on my store shortly. I think it should come in next week, so I'm pretty excited about that to try it out. All right, let's keep going. If PSA and CGC had some sort of trackable blockchain for all slab transactions and ownership, this hobby would be crazy different. True. That'd be crazy. Yeah. That would actually be crazy because you'd be able to track everyone who owned the card, right? So you'd be able to tell like every person who like purchased the card whose hands it went through. It probably, if it was regraded or if it wasn't regraded. That would be wild. That would be some transparency that definitely would change how people do stuff in the hobby for sure. That would be very different. A video of Professor Mayoke eating that sloppy pizza would trump all Pokedrama vids in 2023. Hell no. I do not need to watch a video of Oak scooping mayo up and eating it. Gross. Absolutely gross. Don't need that. Hey, Poke Collectibles, is that you? All right. Oh, this might not be a spicy topic, though. Rugby is greater than American football. That's a pretty spicy topic. I would obviously disagree, mostly because I just know nothing about rugby, and I actually like American football, given the, hat. I enjoy American football. I don't know anything about rugby. If I knew the rules and I watched the sport of rugby, maybe I would like it more. But, yeah. Yeah. Jay Franks, real Poke investors buy CGC 10s. They're undervalued compared to PSA 10s and will likely increase in value over the long haul. However, most people who call themselves investors are just collectors in denial. Again, I don't really do like the undervalued, overvalued stuff because I don't plan to hold anything very long. But it does seem crazy to me, being a person who's graded a lot with CGC. It does seem crazy to me that people are that the prices are so much lower for a CGC 10 than for a PSA 10, given the fact that I've graded hundreds, if not thousands of cards at this point with CGC. I think it's fair to say, personally, I think it's fair to say that, in my opinion, CGC is a way tougher grader on most cards than PSA. So seeing PSA 10s go for significantly more than the CGC 10s is kind of odd. But again, it's all about the label, right? Pretty much. Loads of people only care about the slab and label that the card is in. They don't care about the condition that the card is in. So you would think that as the prices got higher, people would care more about the condition of the actual card, but they don't seem to. It seems to be pretty much the same as lower value cards. They just want a PSA 10 because it's a PSA 10, or they want a CGC 10 because it's a CGC 10. They don't seem to care very much about the actual condition. But that might be what this guy's saying. This guy might be saying that, well, he thinks that the CGC cards that he's seen look a lot cleaner than a lot of the PSA equivalents that he's seen on the market, and yet the CGC cards sell for a lot less. So in his opinion, he thinks the CGC cards are undervalued. That's very possible. I don't know. I'm not buying those cards. Those cards are too expensive for me. Those cards are way too expensive for me. Oak is treating his YouTube name. Okay, that's not a spicy topic. Is this a spicy topic? Oh, this was when they were talking about the Charizard King guy. That was a interesting situation. It was a dumb situation. Yeah, just don't use that guy because that's pretty sus. In my opinion, I think, okay, so the Charizard King guy, if I have figured this out correctly, I didn't watch all the stuff, but I think that he told a seller that he would take 5% of the sale price of an item, and he told the seller, or the person selling the card, that he got an offer for $4,500 or $5,000 or something like that, but he actually sold the card for like $6,500 or something like that. Or the guy said he would take $4,500 for it, and so he gave him $4,500 for it, but he actually sold the card for $6,500. It was some like shitty thing. Just don't do it. Just don't do that shit. That's trash, okay? Unless you sign a piece of paper that says, I'm only expecting to get $4,500 from this, and anything else can go to the consignor plus 5% of the sale price. If you're not signing a paper that literally says that, don't do that stupid shit. That's stupid. You're just lying to the customer, and obviously you're gonna get called out on it if you actually figure out, like, if you get caught. And this dude got caught skimming money off the top. So lying to the customer and skimming money off the top, pretty messed up. All right. Oh my God, how many more? Okay, we're almost there. There's only a couple. All right, we got the ultimate United States hater. Your average player, the ultimate United States hater. If you guys are in Discord with your average player, every single chance he gets to shit on the United States, he takes it, man. He's in. He's good. I do feel it's crazy to me. And I guess you would probably, depending on the news you were shown, you probably would feel some way, or you'd have some perception of the US if you were from the UK or some sort of European country, and you'd never been to the US. You probably have some perception of the US that, depending on the news you see and all that stuff, probably not very favorable, right? But I feel like a lot of people from Europe just think that, like, if they go to any city, if they go to I don't know, Atlanta, or if they go to Minneapolis, or if they go to any city in America, that everyone's walking around in a goddamn cowboy hat with 2 guns on their hips, and at any point a shootout could happen. I feel like that's their perception. And then their perception about food is that we've just stolen everything. That American food doesn't exist. American food all sucks. And you stole your cuisine from every other country. And I wouldn't necessarily say we stole the cuisine. I would say that we adapted the cuisine. But one of the greatest things about America, and one of the unique things about America, in my opinion, is that we are a giant melting pot of cultures. So, of course, Chinese food that comes over from China and comes to America is probably going to be a little bit different, but usually it's still Chinese people making it, and it's them adapting their food and their cuisine to fit into a culture or a country with a bunch of other cultures. And, you know, stuff just changes and becomes different. You know, there's Tex-Mex, there's all sorts of stuff, but there's also American food. There's also a lot of Southern food, like, you know, the barbecues, the different burgers, I mean, I'm sure you could track a lot of this stuff to other countries, but like, we're not an old country. Every other country is so much older than us. We have had a lot of people immigrate here from different cultures, and they bring their food with them. That's one of the main things of learning about someone else's culture, is experiencing their cuisine and their food. That was, I mean, I've never really been sad. Well, this kind of sounds wrong, but like, you know how people get really sad when a celebrity dies? I've never really been like emotionally attached to a celebrity in a way where it makes me sad when they pass. But when Anthony Bourdain died, that was kind of a sad one for me, because I feel like he was unique in the way that he approached his food show and his travel stuff, in a way where he really dove into the culture behind the food, and it wasn't just about the food. Where I feel like most food people on TV are normally just like, oh, let's talk about the food, let's talk about the street food, let's talk about this and that, and it's not necessarily a deep dive into the culture behind why the food is the way that it is. And I felt like he did that really well. I don't know why I got on that tangent, but I think you can experience culture through food, and it's cool that our country has soaked up a lot of different cultures. That's kind of just what we are. I'm expecting you to say USA, USA. Hey, there's a lot of good things about the US. There's a lot of shit things about the US, absolutely. But there is a lot of good things about the US too. And sometimes I feel like the shit things, a lot of people scream louder about the shit things when we should probably scream a little bit louder about the good things, because there are a lot of good things about our country, for sure, as well. All right. That being said, now we have to talk about UAP's comment. All right, your average player says, typical American food isn't American. Only Thanksgiving food that is from America is the marshmallows on sweet potatoes. Okay, your average player. Well, guess what? Guess what meat we eat on Thanksgiving, sir? Turkey. Guess where turkeys are native to? The Americas. Moving on. Wrong. Get wrecked. All right, moving on. Oh, man. Okay. E-Unit. Okay, never mind. That's not a spicy comment. We got SDC spicy comment. Bro, I got bush turkeys in my backyard. Well, they're native to America. Just saying. All right. Spicy. I make more money off my OnlyFans than I do Pokemon. You're missing some of the comments? No, I'm not. Am I? I'm skipping some of them because some of them aren't spicy comments. Oh, you asked which episode was this? This was episode 45. I bet you make a killing on OnlyFans. Hey, I'm not the one saying I have an OnlyFans. Okay? I'm not the one saying I have an OnlyFans. Apparently, SDC has an OnlyFans. Maybe he does. Maybe I should make an OnlyFans. What if I make an OnlyFans, but I just post pictures of my cats? You think I would make any money? Oh, man. All right. This might be the last spicy comment. Oh, Bierski says CGC is better than PSA. Let's see the comments on that one. I'm sure there are good ones. Oh, just a heart. Okay, nice. DC is greater than Marvel. That guy's just smoking crack. I think Marvel in general is pretty shit now, though, to be honest. I haven't been excited about a single Marvel thing since Endgame, really. I think they've been pretty meh for the most part. But that's it. That's all I got for spicy comments. I feel like we covered them all, but if we didn't, I'm sorry if I missed your comment. Oh, you know what? Okay, Eric, I see what you're doing. Java thinks the PSA 10 Rumble Pachirisu is worth $50,000, but it should be worth $100,000. Get out of here, dude. Yeah, I think I got them all though, except for your troll comment. You troll. Well, I think that was fun. I had fun. I hope you guys had fun. Let's see. I got a whole bunch of things rolling around in my head. I'm trying to figure out exactly what I want to do for different stream ideas, different video ideas, different business ideas, different. I mean, there's just too many. There's too many things that I'm involved in right now. There's too many branches to the business and the YouTube and the content and there's just so much. Like I need like a personal assistant. I need a personal assistant who can just edit all like shorts, do my social media for me, just cover all that crap, and then they can also list raw cards using the scanner, and I don't have to deal with any of that. They just do all of that. I just make the content and I sell the graded cards, and everything else is handled by somebody else. That's what I need. But unfortunately, I don't get that. So I have to do it all myself. Oh, one thing we could talk about. So I had the worst Pokemon opening in history. I don't know if you guys saw it, but I opened a case of Shiny Treasure EX last week, and it was absolutely horrible. It was terrible. It was the worst opening I've ever had because it cost about $2,000, and I might make like 500 back, maybe if I'm lucky. So yeah, it was horrible. I kind of just burned a bunch of money because that set is kind of garbage, and I had like the worst pulls imaginable. So, but I did have 2 God Packs. So I made shorts out of the God Packs because I was like, you know what? If I got the God Packs, I might as well take advantage of the fact that I pulled the God Pack and post a short on social media. And they kind of took off. They actually did really well. The Instagram reel has like over 10,000 views, which is crazy. Really cool. Not a whole lot of new followers of my Instagram, but pretty cool to have gotten that many views. The TikTok, I think, got like 3,000 or 4,000 views, and the YouTube got like 1,700 views. So all in all, it did quite well. It probably did like 15,000 views of the first God Pack. One thing that was very interesting to me is I got a comment because in that video, I was very happy and excited about the God Pack initially. By the end of the video, I'm not very happy anymore. I'm pretty underwhelmed with the God Pack. So you can tell that my demeanor and my emotion goes from, oh my God, super excited to, well, that was kind of underwhelming. And some people did not like that. Some people apparently did not like the fact that I pulled the God Pack and was not very happy about it at the end of the video, which I think is really interesting to me. I think it's an interesting look at, like, I was trying to figure out a good way of explaining this, but I think I mean, it's kind of like, I feel like it's kind of like you win the lottery, and you know that if you win the lottery, you're gonna win like 100,000 of a thing, but you're not sure if it's dollars. It could be something else, right? So you win the lottery. You're like, oh my God, I won 100,000 of something. And then they back up the truck and you won $100,000 or 100,000 stalks of celery sticks. And you're like, what? It's like you're excited because you won, because the chance of you winning is so low, but you won 100,000 stalks of celery. Who's going to be excited about that? You're going to be excited initially. You're going to be like, oh yeah, that's super sick. I won this thing. And then when you get your celery, you're going to be like, this kind of sucks. But it's just funny that, you know, people were not very happy that I was not excited about pulling a God Pack at the end of the video, and they were especially, there was one guy especially. The comments were very interesting to me, so let's read them because I think I kept him. Pretty sure I kept him. Let's see. Let's see. The comment was, did he just sigh at a God Pack? That was the comment. And I said, next time I'll act excited when I pull underwhelming cards like the big YouTubers do. Sorry. And he said, I agree with the fake act part. I'm not into overreacting either, but to call a God Pack underwhelming, I'm sorry, that's just another level of privilege. So apparently, because I was dumb enough to waste $2,000 on 20 booster packs and open a God Pack, that gives me privilege because I pulled it, which I was initially excited about, and then I wasn't because the cards I actually pulled were not great. So I just said privilege, lol. I was clearly excited and happy when I got a God Pack. Doesn't take away the fact that the cards I got were underwhelming, and I don't act excited for cards I'm not excited about. Because that's what he's asking me to do, which is crazy. So initially, he's like, did he just sigh when he pulled a God Pack? It's like, no, I was really excited until the cards were kind of shit, and then I sighed at the end of the video. And then he says, I agree at the fake act part. I'm not into overreacting either, but to have an overwhelming response to a God Pack, I'm sorry, that's privilege. It's like, wait a minute. You're telling me not to overreact, but then you're saying if I don't overreact, I am privileged. That doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make sense. So, I don't know. There were some other people that popped in and were like, oh yeah, I mean, it was cool you got a God Pack, but those cards are pretty awful. It's like, yeah, true. But, alright, what did Nick have to say? Let's see. If it makes you feel better, or this is Eric, if it makes you feel better, I found a sealed Charizard Hidden Fates 10 for 47 on Black Friday. So just though your opening could have been 170 Hidden Face packs instead. That would have been fun. I probably would have enjoyed that a lot more, actually. I think it's also because most people see it from the perspective of opening one booster box, in which case a God Pack would be nuts regardless of the actual value of the cards. The context of you going through a case without any chase cards is missing. That's true. The context is missing. That's true. There was a part of me that wanted to respond to the comment of like, well, you shouldn't see the second video where I pulled a God Pack. Because I had two God Packs in the same case. And he was complaining about the one that came earlier that I was more excited for. And the second one, I was definitely less interested or excited about it. I know that it's a crazy thing. Like, God Packs are extremely rare. And to even open one in a case is probably rare. To open two in a case is probably, like, unheard of. Like, probably pretty damn rare. But at the same time, it's like, if you pull a God Pack and it's 9 Gardevoir or 9 Garbodars, you're going to be like, not a great God Pack. You know? That's kind of how I was. And like you said, the context of me going through an entire case without any chase cards, that was pretty brutal. That was pretty brutal. I think you mean Ernesto. I'm Ernie Sigma and he's Ernie Prime. I don't know. I think you're I think you're the... Wait, is Sigma better than Prime? Or is Prime... I don't know. I don't know these terms. Is Prime better than Sigma? Or is Sigma better than Prime? Whichever one you are, you're the better one, Ernie, alright? How dare you spend your own money to create your own experience? Yeah. Some people are, I think, are so used to the over-the-top positivity that when they see someone pull something that they wish they did and have a negative reaction to it because it's maybe not what that person wanted, then all of a sudden it's privilege, right? When it's like, no, I got lucky and I just happened to get cards I didn't like. That's not privilege, because I was excited that I got the God Pack. I just wasn't excited about the cards in the God Pack, which I think is reasonable or understandable. Celery is a bag, no caps. No cap gives mid 5s. I like celery sometimes. You know what vegetable really sucks? Asparagus. Asparagus sucks. The only good asparagus is a really thin asparagus. If you get that really thick, stocky asparagus, gross. Gross. The thin ones I can do. I can do real thin asparagus. Thick asparagus, nope. Nope. Gross. Not a fan. Take it back, that's slander. What's up, Maki? I'm just not huge on asparagus. Although I will say a vegetable that I really enjoy that a lot of people probably don't enjoy is I really like Brussels sprouts. Like a lot. I really like Brussels sprouts. I have people in my family make Brussels sprouts different though. I feel like most places that have Brussels sprouts, they just like boil them and that's it. Maybe some seasoning after boiling. Those kind of suck. Brussels sprouts in like bacon with some balsamic and some, you know, all that good shit. Good stuff. My grandma made some. It was Brussels sprouts with some maple syrup, and those were good. Those were even boiled. They weren't even. Usually we roast Brussels sprouts. Those were even boiled, but they still had like a little bit of maple syrup on them, and so good. I like Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts bussin'. Oak, I thought I'm halfway through it right now because it's a gigantic Titanic of an episode. See what I did there? But I'm listening to your conversation with Pokemon Wonder at the minute, and it is great. It is fantastic. It's a good chat so far. I'm enjoying it. Everyone should check out. I think Pokemon Wonder is doing wonders. I think that is some of the content. I hate to compare. There are other people that do one-on-one interview style podcasts. And I think Pokemon Wonder is probably one of the best ones right now that's doing one-on-one podcasts. I think some of the other guys are okay. Some of the other guys maybe I don't watch as often because I don't necessarily get as much out of their conversations. But I do think that Pokemon Wonder has got some great stuff. It's nice to have an adult, mature-ish content. Yeah. And the thing that I like about Pokemon Wonder is he's just trying to have a good conversation. If I asked him, I said, you know, let's say your podcast will probably only ever have 300 subscribers, but you're always going to have an enriching, good, well worth your time conversation. He'd probably be totally fine with that. Whereas I feel like other podcasters would be like, no. They're trying to grow the guests they have on are not going to be like smaller people in the hobby. They're going to be big ones because they're trying to grow it into like a business, into like a money-making opportunity. Where I feel like Pokemon Wonder, like that'd be great if it happened to him, but he just wants to have really solid, like in-depth, interesting conversations with people, and I find that to be really, really good. I could be totally wrong, but that's just the vibe that I get from him. Is that he just wants to have good conversations. Yeah, Oak's history is crazy. Y'all gotta watch that episode. Oak's history is nuts. He's got a lot going on. I love you. You guys are just chatting and you're like, all this really like cool stuff was already being said about, you know, your job and how you grew up and Pokemon Yellow and all that stuff. And then all of a sudden you just dropped like, oh yeah, and I was in a head-on collision car accident and pretty much almost died and passed out and had a seizure and all this crazy stuff. And I was just like, I am so boring. It's like, goddamn, what the hell? I was thinking about that today. I was like, I'm so boring. Just listening to the conversations that Wonder has had with people. It's like, man, I need to, not that I want to get in a car accident, but it's like, I can't think of a whole lot of exciting things that have happened in my life. Or at least would be exciting to other people, but yeah, obviously, you know, car accidents are not great. But it just seems like you, and you're talking about like, you're like 14, 15 years old and you're literally breeding fish like the freaking Pokemon breeder. You're breeding all these different types of fish and like selling them to your job. You're selling them back to your job after you're breeding them. Like, what are you doing, man? I'm like, the coolest thing I did was, you know, sell armor sets on RuneScape for profit. I don't know. I don't know. I can't think of anything crazy, or particularly interesting. But don't be too hard on yourself. You're not boring. You're just American. All right, your average player, chill out. Oh man. No, yeah, it's interesting. I find it fascinating that everyone has different backgrounds, everyone has different jobs, everyone's doing different things all day, and yet somehow we all come together in one spot and just talk Pokemon, you know? That's what I think is really cool. Is like, for all we know, you know, we have chefs, we have CIA operatives, we've got freaking, we've got financial, you know, people, we have got accounting people, we've got design people, we've got all these different people that have all these different talents and perspectives and all these different histories. We've got people from all over the world, and we're all in one Discord, and all we do is talk Pokemon. It's kind of crazy. It's really crazy. Yeah. I think there's many layers to people when you give them a chance to talk about something that isn't just cards. Yeah, that's true. But it's also kind of interesting that we all just come together and talk cards. Like, we don't necessarily need anything else. If it's there, it's cool, and like the chatting is fun. But it's kind of just cool to have a place to talk cards, you know? Just chill. Kind of an escape place. All that good stuff. But yeah, I think, I don't know, it's really interesting stuff to hear, like, the histories of people. The histories of everyone. Trying to think if there's anything else interesting that happened over the last, like, 3 weeks. I definitely have a lot of stuff that I'll be talking about in the future. Some things that I'm trying to work on. I guess I can hint toward them a little bit. One thing that I'm trying to work on is next year I would like to open one pack. I would like to start a series where I open one of every Japanese Pokemon booster pack. So I've been trying to find, which has been really difficult, a heavy Japanese base booster pack. It seems like not a whole lot of people weigh Japanese packs, or Japanese base packs at least, which is really frustrating because it makes it hard to know. But I want to open a heavy. I don't want to open a non-haul. That doesn't. And then obviously most sets after that, so Rocket and Jungle, and I think most of the WotC sets after that. So I don't think base has a guaranteed holo. The sets after that have a guaranteed holo. So, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I don't think base had a guaranteed holo. I think that set didn't, and then Jungle, Rocket, Fossil all did. And then I think the gym sets, Gym Heroes and Gym Challenge, also have a guarantee. And then I think maybe you have to get heavy packs for E-Series. Yeah. And then obviously I think after that, you probably have to get heavy packs of stuff that happens after that as well. I don't know if you can weigh every Japanese pack either. 1 in every 3-4 packs, other all hollows. E-Series 1 in every 3 pack. Jungle to Neo hollows. Base and E-Series 1 and 2. I think. So we've got 1 in every 3, 1 in 3 or 4. Yeah. So I'm trying to get a Japanese base heavy right now. Obviously like Team Rocket and Jungle and Fossil all show up like really consistently. They show up a lot. Same with the gym sets, they show up a lot as well, and they're not really that expensive. I mean, they're expensive, but they're not, you know. The nice thing is for every one of those openings I can make 3 videos. So I'll do a video of the opening, I do a video of the, because I'll probably grade all the cards from every pack. I'll do the video of the return for the grades, and then I'll do like a profit loss on each of the packs, whether or not I made money opening the packs. And that's 3 different videos I can make off the one opening, and then I'm going to grade them, and then probably sell the cards, and then do a profit loss, and see if you can make money opening packs. I think that would be an interesting series to get into. Versus series packs are going to be nuts. Yeah, I've already looked at those. Those are going to be really expensive. I think even the lesser versus series packs are like $500, which is crazy. So I think they're like 3. I found some on Buy for like $500, which would be too much. And then the Charizard one is expensive, obviously. So not sure about that. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, it may happen, it may not. It depends. We'll see how it goes. But I think it would be fun. It'd be fun to do. And I kind of want to open them all in a row, but I guess that will really depend on what I can get my hands on. So if I don't open them all in a row, it's not really that big of a deal. Like I don't think it's really that big of a deal if I open them all in a row, but I think it'd be fun to. And actually, it's kind of crazy. I was on, was it Buy or Yahoo Auctions or something the other day? There was a listing for every Japanese pack, one of every Japanese pack, except it was like $54,000 or some shit. I was like, there's no way that costs $54,000, bro. One in every pack. Got any selling goals for next year? Not numbers, but things you're trying to get into. I would like to... I'm trying to think. I would like to get my hands on more English collections. I feel like I have Japanese like pretty much down. And there's a part of me that's like, if I'm gonna keep the space at the store, the consignment space, then I have to make some major changes to make that more profitable. And one of those things is going to be trying to source more English collections, because as well as Japanese stuff does up there, English is still definitely the major seller. So doing some more like buying events and stuff that I did up there that were pretty successful, and then doing that more often, trying to get more of those English cards so that I can flip and sell up there the English collections. That is better. I need to make the opening of the modern sets less money wasting. I need to make that less money wasting. So one thing that I've thought about doing is breaks here on the channel, doing like 6-pack breaks. So basically 6 spots in a booster box, doing 6-pack breaks. They would probably be like $30 shipped or $25 shipped or something like that. I'm still trying to think about. I don't want them to be like too expensive, but they would just be a way to help me pay for opening new product to put at the store. It would like offset the It would get you guys packs at a fairly reasonable price for new sets if you wanted to be involved and try and pull some cool stuff. It would give me a little bit of content that I could do, and it would also help me offset the cost of opening new product for the store up at the shop. So that's one thing that I'm trying to figure out, is whether or not I can make breaks work. I just don't know how many people would participate. It's one of those things that I just have to try a couple times and see if I could sell like a full booster box or a few full booster boxes or whatever, and just see how it goes. They would probably have to be English only for a while because shipping to other countries really sucks. But yeah, we'll just have to see. We'll have to see about that. Not 100% sure how that'll work. Maybe I could do it like $28 or something shipped for 6 packs. 6 times 4 is 24. $4 to ship. And just do like $4 booster packs, because usually for booster boxes, especially for newer sets, I feel like I can get them for like 90. So I'd be making like $50 on each set, on each box. And if I sold 6 of them, that'd be like what, $250 to $300, and that would offset half the cost of a case to open for the store. So that would be nice. But that would require me to sell out of an entire case worth of breaks, which I don't know if that would happen or not. So yeah, I'm trying to think of some other things. Otherwise, I need to actually figure out whether or not I want to keep the consignment space. Because obviously it costs money. It costs money to open new sets. And if that's not being offset by the Japanese I can sell up there, obviously I can make a lot more money if I just sell raw cards on eBay and I'm not spending money opening cards. I'm not spending money on booster boxes to try and sell through packs, stuff like that. If I'm not doing that, then I'll make more money. But the problem is there's way more time investment on my end to do all the singles stuff. So there is a part of me that's like, if I could hire like a, like Nick did, like a neighborhood kid or somebody that is familiar with Pokemon cards, or somebody that wants to learn how to sell stuff like that, they could come over for a couple hours on Mondays or whatever and list a bunch of cards. Maybe I could teach them how to edit a couple shorts or something, and then they could take care of the raw cards and I'll just do the graded stuff and buying and stuff like that. And I don't know. But yeah, there's too much. There's too much and not enough time to do it all, and it sucks. It really sucks. Also, next year I kind of want to pay myself. Maybe I have to figure out how I want to do that, even if it's just a little bit. I'd like to get to the point where I'm covering my rent, maybe, with Pokemon. And slowly getting to the point where I'm supporting myself fully with Pokemon and not dipping into my work stuff at all. And if I could get to that point where, like, if I could get like pull like $2.5 to $3K a month out just in Pokemon to live off of, and all of my money funds are, going into other, investments or, being held or whatever, then I could more easily look at it and say, okay, maybe I could do this full time. Maybe there's enough time for me to, if I can increase my time, I can increase my money made. So maybe, since I'm already supporting myself fully on Pokemon and still operating the business, then maybe I could jump into this and try and do it full time. So yeah, those are things I'm always thinking about. Some goals for next year. I've got some other goals and stuff, and I think, man, the last few weeks videos have been difficult for me to think of. So idea generating, that'd be good too. I need an idea guy, somebody that's just DMing me video ideas constantly. Hey, make a video about this. Hey, make a video about this. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I know Steven hasn't made a video recently. I think he had a little bit of burnout maybe. He made a lot of videos like and then I think he's taking a break for a little while. He made a video that really popped off, which was a day in the life. I think that would be fun to do, a day in the life video of, you know, Pokemon card flipper or whatever. I think that would be interesting. You guys get to see a little bit behind the scenes of what a day in my life is. I promise you, it's the most exciting thing you've ever seen. So when that video comes out, you should definitely. My life is so goddamn exciting. But I don't know. It could be interesting. I'm trying to take inspiration from other people who are doing well, and then hopefully will put my own, you know, flares on it, my own ideas into it, stuff like that. I want to buy everything, but I can only afford Detective Pikachu. That's tough. That's tough. I've thought about starting a podcast as well, but I don't think I want to do that. I don't know. There's a part of me that's like, yeah, I should definitely do a podcast. And then there's a part of me that's like, absolutely not. You should definitely not do a podcast. One thing. So one thing that I've struggled with. Thank you, Kat, for rubbing up on the microphone. I'm sure you guys heard that. One thing that I've been struggling with is I want to give the people who support something. So the people who are members, let's say, I want to give them something. I've always toyed with like member exclusive videos that aren't necessarily Pokemon card related, or not necessarily Pokemon related at all, or they're video game related instead, or something like that. I've always wanted I've always wanted to give members of the channel something a bit more. So I have been thinking about a potential series. Thank you, you're welcome. She's very fuzzy. You got stuff. I was thinking about a potential series, ongoing series, where Hey, did you just bite me? She just bit me. What? What are you doing? She just bit my wrist. What a punk. What? So, what was I saying before I was bit by my own cat? She muted the mic. You are such a punk. She muted the damn mic. Okay. Sorry about that. All right. So, potentially, I think it would be cool to do a possibly members exclusive or members timed exclusive. So, like, members see the new episode a week in advance, and then the next week it becomes available for everybody. Something like that, maybe. Maybe not completely members exclusive. But you know how people do reaction videos to like TV shows and stuff? What I was thinking was, what if I could figure out how to do it without getting demonetized, what if I could figure out how to react to the Pokemon series? And I would watch the series from beginning to end, and I would react to every episode, and it would be like a watch-along, and it would be members exclusive for like a week, and then every episode would then come out like a week later for everybody else, or it would be members exclusive. I don't know if I want to make it exclusive, But I think that would be fun. Maybe we try it for a few episodes and then see what happens. Speaking of not having the time to do something, picks the most time-intensive thing. Wait, watching an episode of anime? That's not time. I mean, that's not really that time sensitive. I already watch anime. If you want to make more content, I'd focus on the algo. Then members, as I think members will support you regardless of what you do. I just think it's better if members get something for being members. I don't know. The editing though, I mean, once you have like the first episode down, it would be easy enough to just edit future episodes the same way. I do think sometimes it can be weird with it would just be something to try. I could try to edit the first one and then put it up on YouTube and then mess around with the editing to try and make sure that I don't get demonetized, and then kind of go from there and see what happens. But yeah, if it was too time, crazy, then maybe. But I just think it's nice to get something I just think it's nice to get something for being a member. I don't know. Or maybe, like you said, Ernie, maybe it doesn't matter. But I'm like, I like to give back to people. I know that technically people are just supporting the content that I make. And that's like the point, is like, I'm giving you content, but technically the content is free, but you're choosing to support me based on the content that I provide you. But at the same time, it's like, if you're going above and beyond a normal person, because like, as a YouTuber, the best thing that you could possibly do to me is watch a video from beginning to end. That's literally the best thing you could do as a support, system, or as a supporter. Is not necessarily like memberships and stuff like that. That's all like cherry on top of the sundae. But just watching a video from beginning to end is like the best way you could support a YouTuber, to be honest. But obviously memberships are awesome and I appreciate them and stuff like that. But that's why I feel like memberships are kind of above and beyond support. So for me, it's like, why don't I give something to those people? Because, or, some sort of exclusive something for the people who go that kind of extra step. But yeah, the whole like watch time is really the most supportive thing that you can possibly do. Thank you, Maki, for becoming a member. This wasn't supposed to be pressure at all. I'm just saying ideas out there, but I really appreciate it, Maki. Thank you very much. Thank you. No, I appreciate it. Absolutely. Thank you very much. You need to cut heavily to avoid copyright strikes. Yeah, I'm not sure. There are some people. I watch a lot of reaction stuff to like normal television shows and like animes and stuff, and there are some people that cut, but then there's also some people that are able to like, kind of make the video like 50% transparent, or they're able to like, cut at the edges of the video a little bit, and that I think helps a lot with I think it depends how you edit, how the video is displayed actually on your video, to kind of get around the whole copyright thing. Nintendo definitely not someone you want to play with. Well, technically, that's not Nintendo, is it? The anime? That's gonna be somebody else. But yeah, I agree. But I do think people do it, and I do think it would be interesting. I'll just try it once and see what happens. See if I can make it work. And if I can't make it work, then we don't make it work. But giveaways are good and enticing. Discussions, answering questions, etc. are great benefits. Yeah. I've had poor outcomes with giveaways in the past. When I used to stream on Twitch, I used to do regular giveaways. And I think the biggest problem with giveaways is people show up for the giveaways and they don't care about anything else. So you're enticing people to show up for the giveaway, but when the giveaway is done, it's gone, and that's it. I think one thing that I encountered as well was if you're doing giveaways, a lot of your chat will just become, when's the giveaway? When's the giveaway? When's the giveaway? How do I enter the giveaway? When's the giveaway? And that to me would annoy the living shit out of me. Maki, thank you for gifting 5 memberships. Jesus. Toga Kiss, welcome to being a member. Stainless Moon. Look at all these people I've never seen before. Well, some people I've seen before. 24. Mr. Astray Gold. And Gerald Rowland. Enjoy your memberships from Maki. Maki, thank you very much for the memberships. This is going to go 5 times now. Just a heads up. We are going to get a ding, 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 ding. Maybe promote what you do already have. I didn't know about the Pokemon Fusion playthrough until someone gifted me a membership. Yeah, except I kind of abandoned that. I think I did in one video after I started the first episode. I did. I need to get better at doing that on my videos. One thing that I've wanted to steer clear with my videos was doing constant callouts, saying like, you know, oh no, don't apologize. I love hearing that noise. Thank you, Maki. I really appreciate it. I hope you are well, and I hope everyone enjoys their memberships. I feel like I have too much to call out. Like I recently had a or I have a partnership now with Rare Candy. So now it's like, if I'm gonna call stuff out, I feel like I need to call out like 1 per video. Jeffrey, thank you for the super chat. Or is that a sticker? I don't know what those are. Thank you, Jeffrey, for the $1.99 super chat. I appreciate it. You guys, yeah. Thank you for the end of night support here. I appreciate it. Super sticker. All right, so there's super chats and super stickers. Got it. Thank you very much, Jeffrey. I appreciate it. I forgot what I was talking about now. Oh, yeah. I like not having my videos filled with like constantly saying like, oh, make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you check out my code for, you know, such and such. Make sure you think about joining as a member because I have these exclusive things. Like if I did that in every video, I feel like people just wouldn't keep watching. people would tune out real quick. And I could be wrong, but it seems cumbersome to me. Thank you very much again, Jeff. Maybe find a middle ground, something like a logo flashing for a few seconds, not like a watermark. Well, that's what I do with liking and subscribing right now. I have a little thing that pops up and then is clicked and stuff for the, you know, the normal thing. Logo flashing. I could figure out something, maybe. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'd have to figure that out. Maybe I could do the regular like and subscribe thing, and then maybe I could do like 1 call out per video. That's another thing I need to go through and like template my video editing process. So like, this is one thing to remember. This is one thing to remember. One thing that I've wanted to do in the past that I would love to incorporate is at the end of videos, calling out a particular comment and then maybe making like a small, comment about the comment. So like a featured comment by Eric Drinks Water says this is what I think about that. You know, thanks for watching. Later. Like calling out particular people in the community for either good comments or bad comments or whatever, and making their comments a part of videos. And maybe that would incentivize more people to comment, and then, you know, because they'd want their comment like read out in a video or whatever. So that's something that I've thought about as well. There's just so much. There's just so much when it comes to the YouTube thing. But I've definitely thought about all this, and it's just the right way to incorporate all of it is difficult. It'd be cool. I wouldn't risk it. So many of these TV movie react channels go through hell trying to avoid and fight copyright. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know, dude. I do want to do more of this streaming stuff, so that is definitely something I'll do more. Or at least I'll try and be more consistent. Like every Thursday we're doing streaming. I would like one stream to literally just be reaction videos of other channels. So like something that I feel like I can give a different perspective on. Not just, you know, sitting and watching stuff or just watching random shit. Like something that I feel like something another PokeTuber has made that either I disagree with or I feel like I can give more perspective on. I think those types of live streams I actually really enjoy doing a lot. Like I enjoyed going through this today. I think that was really cool. We need a return of PokeTuber game shows. True. I agree. I would love to be a contestant on one of those and not put together them. I do not have enough time to wrangle PokeTubers together for game shows. Professor Oak's got to get back doing those. But yeah. I don't know. The content space is really weird. I go in and out of feeling really positive about it to feeling really negative about it. Because I feel like a lot of times the videos that I put a lot of like creative effort into, like a lot of editing, you know, the idea is something I haven't seen before. And then when I put those videos out, they tend to underperform versus like just a PSA return. Like a PSA return does really well usually, like 500 plus views. And then if I do like the video with like my grandma where it's like she's guessing, I thought that video was great. And there was so much positive response to it, but it wasn't really a video that people, I guess, clicked on, or the algorithm didn't see it being very favorable that it wanted to push to people, or whatever happened with it. But that video just kind of came out, was like, you know, didn't perform as well as just like a PSA submission video or a PSA return video. And when that kind of stuff happens, it kind of gives me a little like, aw, like a little like, man, I wish that those ideas, because I feel like those are kind of unique ideas, that those ideas were more championed compared to just like, oh, I gotta make my 25th PSA return video. Even though I like doing PSA return videos, and I think that they're also helpful, I like just doing those creative, entertaining videos as well. I wish that they saw the same sort of attention, you know, from people. But that is the constant battle of YouTube. But it is what it is. Just all stuff that you need to think about. I feel like one of the unique things about my situation right now is the consignment space. And I wish that there was more content that I could do with the consignment space, but there just isn't much. Like, I don't do much up there apart from, you know, refill the binders every now and again. I mean, I go up there twice a week for like half an hour each. I clean everything up, make sure everything looks fine, check out the numbers, sales, all that stuff, and then I just go home. There isn't really anything particularly awesome about having that space, but I feel like that space is very unique when it comes to my business versus a lot of other PokeTubers businesses. I'm just not sure how to leverage that into interesting videos or like interesting content. I will be doing a video at the end of the year. I will try and figure out everything that I spent on the space and everything that I've made from the space and see if we actually made money doing it or not. Because I don't even know. I hope we have, but it's very likely that we haven't made any money doing that spot. So, but it's definitely something I would like to know, going into the next year, seeing if I actually want to continue with it or not. So yeah, but I'll definitely be doing a video like that. But yeah, well, I appreciate you guys. I'm gonna wrap it up here. It's time for bed. My cat's already bit me once. I don't know what's gonna happen in the next like 10 minutes if I don't give her any food. So I'm gonna go and give her a little bit of food and then go to bed. So appreciate you guys being here tonight. I thought this stream was quite fun, and thank you for being around for the chill period here at the end. Thank you, Maki, very much for the 5 gifted memberships and for the personal membership. And thank you very much, Jeffrey, for the super sticker. I appreciate you. Thank you, guys. And we'll see you on the next stream. Hopefully it'll be next Thursday. I'm going to try and be more consistent with the streams. Make sure that I get at least one video out every week. All right, guys. We'll see you later.